captured in everyday settings, but nothing about them is ordinary. These videos show terrifying rituals, creatures that shouldn't exist, and events that can't be explained. Believe it or not, this mysterious footage remains unexplained and has left everyone shocked. Let's begin. This was recorded in a cemetery, so you already know it's not going to be good. A woman was seen throwing salt on a suitcase that was moving on its own, like something inside was trying to break free. You can even hear the chilling, almost demonic screams coming from it.
¿Quién está aquí en este lugar? Respóndenos.
She kept praying loudly, tossing more salt, until the screams turned into sobbing. And then silence. And just when you think it's over, she unzipped the suitcase to find a doll inside. Of course, many believe the doll was cursed, and whatever dark spirit was trapped inside had just been exorcised. But I don't know about you. I wouldn't keep that doll around.
En nombre de Dios Padre, de Dios Hijo y de Dios Espíritu Santo, a ti encomendamos.
Ghost treat. Not all apparitions are evil, or so you might think after seeing this bizarre clip. A street surveillance camera captured something truly unexpected. A misty, translucent figure appearing near two stray dogs and handing them treats. You read that right. The dogs wagged their tails, completely calm, as if greeting an old friend. Many believe animals can sense spirits. Maybe this was one they knew in their lifetime. While skeptics called it a camera glitch or trick of the light, others were convinced this was a spirit that returned not for revenge, but for love. Creepy intruder. A woman was left stunned when she spotted a hand emerging from a crack in her roof. The hand appeared unusually large, with sharp, claw-like nails, and moved as if it were feeling around for something. Though its appearance was disturbingly human-like, the exact creature it belonged to remained a mystery. Some online speculated it could be a werewolf, while others suggested it might be a raccoon. With so many strange creatures out there, nothing can be said for certain. Underground mystery. It is believed by many that jinn, or demons, live deep underground, hidden in realms beneath ours. Two men digging at a remote site stumbled upon something that might support that claim. After hours of digging, they hit a stone slab. But what made them freeze wasn't the stone. It was what peeked through a narrow crack beside it. A gray, clawed hand was trying to pull itself out. Now skeptics called it an animal limb, but the men swore they heard beastly growls from under the earth. Sounds they'd never heard before. So, did they find something buried, or disturb something that was never meant to be found? Headless ritual. You hear about all kinds of strange rituals from across the world, but this one from Africa is straight up mind-bending. A viral video shows a man, possibly a spiritual guide, walking alongside what appears to be a headless person. Yep, no head, just a neck billowing with smoke. Skeptics were quick to call it a costume or some clever illusion, maybe a boy with a fake torso. But then comes the question, how do you fake smoke pouring out of a neck stump that smoothly? Some netizens were sure it was spiritual magic, but I'll let you decide. Zigzag Croc. A bizarre video has been making rounds on social media, and it's not what you'd expect. At first glance, it looks like a croc that lost a battle with a dump truck. Its body was bent in a zigzag pattern. But here's the thing, it's very real. Some believe the deformity happened while it was still in the egg, maybe due to trauma or cramped conditions. Others suggest a rare genetic twist might have caused it. Whatever the reason, the croc didn't seem bothered. It was moving around just fine, proving that even with a wild shape, it's still a survivor. Nature's weird and kind of awesome. Fiery water. Water is used to extinguish fire, not the other way around. But this video messed with everyone's mind. In a small town in India, people were left stunned when someone placed a piece of paper under the flowing water from a hand pump, and it burned instead of getting wet. Locals gathered around, testing it over and over, and the result was the same each time. Some said the water was mixed with flammable chemicals underground. Others blamed a nearby factory leak. Whatever it was, one thing's for sure: this wasn't your ordinary pump. Roadside apparition. A late-night drive took a freaky turn for this guy when he spotted something downright bizarre. A robed figure sitting calmly atop a highway signboard, hat and all. Now he had heard rumors about the highway being haunted, but never expected to see something like this. And considering how big the signboard was, the figure looked unusually small. Was it the ghost of a little person? A gnome, maybe? Some folks online thought so. Others guessed it was just a scarecrow, someone placed there for laughs. But whatever it was, the sight gave off a chilling vibe. A family was driving down a quiet country road when their child pointed the camera out the window and caught something eerie. In the distance, a humanoid figure seemed to rise slowly, and it kept getting bigger the farther they drove. If it looked that massive from so far away, just imagine how huge it would have been up close. The clip has reignited a chilling theory. Are the Nephilim, the giants of ancient legend, still walking among us? Crypted sighting. A strange creature was spotted by a woman right inside her home. And no, it wasn't a rat problem. This thing looked like a massive pink, furless rat, the size of a cat. Startled, the woman did what most of us wouldn't dare. She stood her ground trying to scare it away, commanding the creature to leave. And oddly enough, it did. But what was that thing? Some online were quick to shout chupacabra, while others offered a more grounded take, saying it could have been a possum suffering from severe mange, a creepy cryptid sighting, or just nature being a little weird. Let me know in the comments. Eerie ritual. This video has taken the internet by storm, and you'll see why. The guy sticks a straight needle into a pile of black turmeric, places a candle beside it, which lights up on its own. Then, as he turns the key in a padlock, the small coconut starts rotating by itself. But it doesn't stop there. When he pulls out the needle, it's bent. And just as you're trying to process that, the padlock clicks open on its own. Some netizens were convinced they'd just witnessed black magic in action, while others are still trying to figure out if it was all just a clever trick.
This was an egg. Look at it, it's a mushroom.
A peaceful walk in the park took a strange turn for this woman. She noticed something glowing in the grass. Yep, in broad daylight. At first, it looked like some sort of light buried in the ground. But as she moved her camera closer, it turned out to be a white mushroom-like growth. And it was glowing, really glowing. The internet lit up with theories. Some said it was radioactive. Others claimed it was a rare magic mushroom with bioluminescent properties. Giant insect. I'm sure all of us, at some point, have imagined how terrifying it'd be if ants evolved into giant versions of themselves. Well, that exact nightmare seemed to come true in a video that recently went viral. A massive ant-like creature, the size of a fist, was seen crawling up a man's arm. And to make matters worse, it looked like it had wings. People were freaking out until someone finally identified it as Sia ferox, a rare but real insect species. But let's be honest, just knowing what it is doesn't make it any less creepy. Wormy rain. What happens when the sky opens a can of worms? Well, that's exactly what residents in Beijing experienced back in 2023. Videos started flooding the internet showing streets and parked cars completely covered in what looked like writhing worms. Locals called it the rain of worms, and the authorities were completely baffled. Some believed it was a sign of the end times. Others were convinced it was just poplar tree seeds. Long, stringy, and sticky when wet. Nature sure has more surprises up its sleeve. Grave mystery. A man passing by a local cemetery caught sight of something strange. A pair of glowing eyes shining from the corner drew him in. Thinking it was just an owl, he went closer and hit record. But what he captured was nothing like what he expected. Perched in one dark corner was a motionless figure. It was just blinking.
Su madre raza pinche escalofrío tiene ojos, eh?
That's what spooked people most. Some were convinced it was a statue, but not just any statue, one possessed by a demon. Others believed it was something far more mysterious, maybe a cryptid, or worse, an apparition rising straight out of one of the graves. Fell from sky. Now this is something you don't see every day. A car skewered by a tree. Yes, a full-grown tree piercing straight through the driver's side. The car was completely empty. But here's the weird part. The tree's foliage was totally untouched. Not a single branch was broken. It looked like the car had just fallen from the sky and impaled itself. Some even joked that a wizard turned the driver into the tree. But as wild as it looked, the mystery didn't last long. Turns out it was actually a clever street art installation. Still, it had everyone scratching their heads for a minute. Justice served. In a remote African village, ancient traditions still hold strong, and this one has the internet talking. A ritual was caught on camera where two people hold what looks like brooms made of straw, pressed together to form a narrow passage. One by one, villagers walk through, until one man just can't pass. No matter how hard he tries, he's stuck. They call this a ritual of justice, used to reveal the guilty. Skeptics say it's just coincidence. Maybe the straws tangled, but the villagers believe the ritual spoke true, and that man ended up behind bars. Park sorcery. In a small town in India, parks shut down right after sundown, and no one really knew why, until one guy managed to catch this on camera. A figure dressed in a black robe, face completely hidden, was sitting silently on a bench. From the looks of it, they were performing some kind of ritual. Cradling something and turning it into a pointed hat. Locals were quick to believe it was a magician doing shady stuff, maybe even cursing the park after dark. Skeptics called it nothing more than a prank, but after watching the clip, you might think twice about your next evening stroll. Suspension.
But nothing like this.
Someone recorded a branch of a palm tree literally floating in midair. Nothing was supporting it. It was just hanging there like it hit pause on gravity.
Wow.
People were quick to label it a glitch in the Matrix. I mean, what else explains it just chilling in the air like that? Others argued it could have been wind currents holding it up somehow. But if that's true, why isn't it moving? And if you were wondering, why didn't someone just go touch the floating thing? Well, here's your answer. In this second video, a woman spotted a leaf suspended mid-air, like time had just paused it mid-fall. Naturally, she reached out and plucked it, and guess what? It was just an ordinary leaf. But then, she tossed it back, and it's stuck in mid-air again. No strings, no tricks that we can see. So, what was it? Glitch in the Matrix? Magnetic field? Or something way weirder? behind the scenes. Zangbitos are some of the most mysterious rituals in Africa. Guardians of the night, protectors of the village, or so the legend goes. But this video might just reveal something deeper. It shows a small doll moving all on its own, its hands swaying up and down like it's alive. A foreigner filming the scene was left completely baffled, especially when they placed a traditional Zangbeto cover over it. Now we know what's under the costume, but how is it moving is still a mystery. Some say it's a spirit, others say it's clever craftsmanship. Either way, it's hard to look away. Humanfaced. This fish in a pet shop is going viral, and when you see it, you'll know why. At first glance, it looks like it has a full-on human face, eyes, nose, even lips, like it's silently judging you through the glass. But as it swims around, you realize it's not some science experiment gone wrong. It's just a wild, naturally occurring pattern on its scales. Pretty uncanny though. Nature sure knows how to mess with your mind. Exorcism. This bizarre clip has recently surfaced, leaving people absolutely horrified. Two men appear to be performing some kind of exorcism. One was sprinkling salt, while the other held up a book and a cross, chanting awkwardly. What really catches the eye is what they were focused on. Some sort of pipe or object. Whatever was inside it didn't seem happy. The object was shaking violently, with smoke rising from it. Many believed it was an actual spirit they were trying to trap or purge. Whether it was real or just a prank remains a mystery. Mythical discovery.
It was in my pool filter.
Fairies. Most people chalk them up to pure myth. But what if they weren't? A woman cleaning out her pool filter stumbled upon something very strange. It looked squashed and lifeless, like it had been stuck there for a while. But here's where it gets weird. It had limbs like a frog, front and back, wings, a long tail, and no head. So what was it?
Front legs, back legs.
A freaky flying frog? Or did this woman accidentally discover proof that mythical creatures walk or fly among us? Either way, this one's hard to explain.
It's weird.
Trance. A woman out on a casual walk in the park ended up capturing something straight up bizarre. She spotted a possum mid-stride, completely frozen, like time had stopped just for it, even when she got closer. And when a curious cat came over to sniff it, the possum stayed perfectly still. Now sure, possums do play dead, but this wasn't the usual limp or dramatic faint. This looked like a paused video in real life. Many were quick to call it a glitch in the Matrix, and honestly, it did look freakishly real. Shoot out. People have started wondering if Pokemon might actually be real, and this video is to blame. It showed a tiny insect shooting actual smoke from its rear, and that too at lightning speed. At first glance, you'd think it was a clip straight out of an animated battle. Skeptics quickly called it CGI, but it's real. Meet the bombardier beetle. This little guy shoots a scalding hot chemical spray, nearly 100 degrees C, from its backside when threatened. It's so powerful, it creates a visible puff of smoke. With firepower like that, no wonder it doesn't have many predators. Maybe Pikachu's not that far-fetched after all. Mystery bird. During a recent trip to the forests of Peru, a tourist encountered a bird so unusual that it left scientists around the world stunned. Some experts think it could be an unknown type of kiwi, while others believe it might be a modern relative of the long-extinct dodo. At the same time, online users began comparing it to llamas and speculated that the bird might be a mythical creature with the ability to shapeshift or mimic other animals. If that's the case, I'd think twice before trying to uncover what it really is. Yard spirit. What this home surveillance camera captured might just convince you to keep those curtains closed at night. Everything seemed still until a strange mist appeared out of nowhere and drifted silently across the yard, setting off the motion sensor. Its shape was hazy, but if you squint, you can almost see it walking upright, heading straight into the woods before vanishing completely. The homeowner, already a bit uneasy about the property, was convinced it was the spirit of the previous owner. And honestly, after watching the clip, you might agree. Intruding witch. You won't believe what this CCTV camera caught on the rooftop. The homeowner had been hearing strange sounds above and decided to check the footage, expecting maybe a raccoon or even a burglar. But what showed up instead was something else entirely. A shadow slid into view. Then from it, a woman in red with long black hair seemed to emerge, gliding across the rooftop like she was riding a broomstick. She zipped from one end to the other in seconds, then vanished. Skeptics chalked it up to a camera glitch, but others weren't so sure. But what could move like that except a witch? Arachnid tail. The kind of things we're finding these days. It's no wonder people freaked out when they saw this video. At first glance, it looked like a spider with a bulbous body and a bunch of twitchy legs, like some creepy new hybrid species. People online were convinced it was a mutant arachnid, but soon the mystery was solved as a few experts chimed in, revealing it wasn't a spider at all. It was actually a spider-tailed, horned viper. Yep, that bizarre spider was just the snake's tail, evolved to mimic insects and lure in unsuspecting birds. Water demon. A couple of villagers caught something strange on camera, something that shouldn't have been there. While trying to rescue a dog that had slipped into the river, they noticed a black, shadowy figure lurking in the water. Even in broad daylight, it had two horns jutting from its head and was half submerged, slowly creeping toward the struggling dog. Panicked, the villagers threw rocks at it. One hit the creature square on the head, snapping off one of its horns. Was it a river-dwelling demon like many believed? Or just an old statue dumped in the water long ago? Whatever it was, the dog made it out. The creature didn't. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.